What up, crew? I was thinking about something. I've been thinking about it for a while and want to do a video on it, but since the latest fiasco has come about dealing with Halle Berry and father of her child, I said, let me go ahead and get that video out that I wanted to get out. We were talking on Facebook about Halle Berry, and the allegations have come out that her father's child, the father of her child, i.e. baby dad, because I know that's what y'all want me to say. Go ahead and say baby dad. The father of her child has said, supposedly called her the N-word, and doesn't want his child to be called black. And Halle Berry, of course, is fighting back. She was on the set of a movie and has declined the movie to get really into this thing and do what she got to do. Big ups to her for that, for taking time off to handle her business. And she has said that her child is black. And of course, those are the reports that are coming out. They could be wrong, but I'm going to go with that for this video. But it makes me want to talk about other stuff when it comes to Halle Berry. And I've always thought that Halle Berry suffers from two things. A, she's gorgeous, fabulous, beautiful. And B, she is a star. She's a public personality. She's open to the public, or so we think she is, because she is a celebrity. And so, but let me talk about that first thing. Being fabulous, gorgeous, and beautiful. Which puts her in the category to suffer from what I call pretty girl hate. Now, let's not pretend we don't know what pretty girl hate is. Pretty girl hate is hating on a pretty girl. And y'all know I don't use that word hating lightly. You know from a couple of videos I've done, I'm not one of those who always think somebody's hating on everybody, or somebody hating on you if they don't like you. But when it comes to Halle Berry, in some situations, I think it's just straight up hate. I mean, that's just me. So the fact that I'm using that word, you must know, if you follow me, if you've been a subscriber for a minute, that I'm really standing by what I'm saying. Let's go back to the pretty girl hate thing though. I think she suffers from that, because let's not pretend that we as humans, because it is a human emotion, and we've all done it, no matter how fabulous you think you are and how righteous you think you are, we've all done it, where someone who we supposedly think has more than us or has it going on, when they suffer a little bit and we find out about it, you kind of rejoice. It kind of makes you feel better about your own shit. Yes, you too. We've all done it. I've done it myself. So I think Halle Berry suffers from this. Whereas we love average looking women, whoever that is. You can call me one of them. I don't even care, because some of y'all put on the video that I'm just, you know how y'all do. Y'all, you got to be strong for YouTubers. They'll call you all kind of name and talk about your mama if you're nothing about it. But average women, or plain women, or women who are not celebrities. And that a lot of women would fall into that category when it comes to Halle Berry, because she has a beauty. She's just fabulous. When it comes to her look, she's gorgeous. I will not ever deny that. And it is what it is. So I think a lot of us, as women or as people, period, when we see somebody who has all of that going for them, we kind of rejoice when their shit stinks. When we figure out, oh, their shit really does stink. So when she's living out her relationships in the media, or maybe not that she wants to, but because she's a celebrity, the media makes her live it out, so to speak. And we buy the books, we read the stuff, and we gossip, because we're human and we do that. So that's always been a problem, I think, for Halle Berry, suffering from that pretty girl hate. Women, I think, because it looks the way she looks, a lot of us rejoice when we heard she's had a bad relationship. And as we know, supposedly she's had some bad relationships. But let me get this right, though, when it comes to Halle Berry. Let me talk on this, because a lot of us say, oh, she's crazy. I was reading on Facebook, a couple of people on my FB page were like, now do we believe David Justice and all that? I was like, no, I don't believe David Justice, lying ass, lying, cheating, sneaking ass. No, whatever. Halle Berry can be crazy or whatever, but not more crazier than him, because to me, at the end of the day, you are what you attract. So if Halle was crazy, then all the rest of them been crazy too. What? And let's not pretend also, people, that if our relationships were on media blast and folks went and talked to our exes, or our exes could put out there whatever they want to put out about us, folks would probably think our asses were crazy too. Because I'm sure all of us, yeah, you too, have done some crazy shit in a relationship. I know I have. I know I have. Virgo, sensitive, critical, all that. So let me go ahead and admit that I know I have. So when we see Halle Berry living this out in the media, because she's forced to, not that she's given her consent to it, but she is a celebrity, these things happen. Her business gets put on blast, or what even we think is her business, because this shit may not even be true for all we know. She suffers from that, where, you know, a lot of people gloat on that. We love to see the rich, the famous, the beautiful fall down. It makes us feel better about our own fucked up shit. And at the end of the day, they may have fucked up shit, but your shit's still fucked up. So why are you rejoicing in this shit? I don't know. You know what I mean? So I've always thought that Halle suffered from that pretty girl hate. I don't think she's any more crazy than the rest of us. She just seems to be living out her stuff in the media. And if we took stock of our own relationships, as I've said before, talk to some of our exes, no telling what would come out. Honey boo. Will we be able to hold on like she does? Because I know me. Ooh, I don't even want people in the church talking about my business, much less the whole world thinking they know what's going on with me. Because I would be that black celebrity. I think I've said this before. I'd be that black celebrity y'all hate. Y'all be like, oh, she's such an embarrassment. Because everywhere I go, there'd be just birds going up at the camera all the time. Like, y'all, your mamas, I'd be that type of celebrity. You would hate me. But, yeah, so I think it's a lot of pressure that she's under, period. And somebody on my Facebook was saying that, you know, she's a common denominator in her relationships, and that's true, but so are we in ours. And our relationship, I mean, would all our relationships leading up to supposed marriage be considered failed relationships? You know, because they didn't work out. Could that be true for us too? And just because you get married or you find supposedly the one, because, you know, just because you're married don't mean you don't found the one. Would they be classified, you know, as failures up until then, you know? So I think we have to be very careful about that, about thinking that we, A, know what's going on in celebrities' business, B, rejoicing, so-called gloating. And some of us do it. You know who you are. Yeah, you. When we hear these things, because it makes us feel better about our own average dull lives. That damn, if as beautiful as Halle Berry is, if she can't get a man, well damn, what? I feel better about myself. And you know you do it. So I think she suffers from that. I also think Kim Kardashian suffers from that. Kim Kardashian is gorgeous. I mean, front if you want, but she is gorgeous. And she's got a nice shape to me. These are just my opinions. You may not agree. But I love the whole Kardashian clan. I love that they have worked this shit and they making their money, and they are damn good business women. All of them. And Kim suffers from that too. And then Kim even suffers from the fact that she looks the way she looks. She's rich, you know. She's not a so-called celebrity in the sense of like a Halle Berry celebrity where she's had movies and, you know, stuff like that. She kind of really got famous on a whim. And let's talk about it. You know, the sex tape, the infamous sex tape. But not Halle Berry, but Kim Kardashian has somehow been labeled as a whore, a strumpet, a skis, a skank, a gold digger because of that tape. When we have to realize, A, Kim was in a relationship with Ray J. They were in a relationship. This was not some random dude she just did a sex tape with, and other sex tapes have come out, you know, with her just having sex with random dudes. She thought she was in love, whatever, and they made a sex tape. Now, see, to the sex tape thing, let me give a little footnote here. No. I don't give a damn how in love you are. I mean, I know people get caught up. I know people get caught up. But let me just give a word of advice to everybody, whoever, famous or not. I don't care how much in love you think you are. I don't give a damn if you married. You don't let nobody put you on no damn sex tape. I don't care. I'm not doing it. I don't care if Jesus himself came and said, this is your man, he's going to love you for life, y'all going to be there. No, you're not getting me on a sex tape, because you never know what will happen. Feelings change, people change. Next thing you know, your shit is going around Facebook. Because, you know, that's when you're not a celebrity and you just on Facebook. Your shit can go around Facebook, right? And you on tape, oohing and ahhing and making them faces. And, no. Don't, I'm telling you, telling you, girls, sisters, do not do it. Whatever. And then don't even go for that. It's just gonna be for us. Whatever, honey. If you want it, you can. If you with somebody, they can get it when they want it. They can see it then. That's when they see it. They don't need no tape to go back and reminisce. But that was just a little footnote. But yeah, I think Kim suffers from that. And think about Kim. That's kind of makes me feel for her just as a woman. Period. Being sensitive to another woman is that sex tape thing is hard because it's out there, right? I fear that Kim will always kind of have, this is just my opinion. See, that's the thing about being a celebrity. Folks are making a YouTube video talking about what they think about your life and what's going to happen. See what I'm saying? And I admit that. I admit that's what I'm doing. Apologies for that. But it's kind of hard for her because I think she's going to always kind of have a problem of finding somebody because that tape is out there. And men really men don't even like the idea of you, their woman, being with somebody else, much less other people knowing and seeing it and seeing how you are and how you act in that moment. It's really hard for her. But I really hope she will find somebody and get over that. I think it'll have to be a much older guy who's very mature and level-headed in his thinking, and not these young guys she's kind of fooling around with who are still kind of, wet behind the ears trying to figure out their life and what they want. And have that ego thing going. So I think she'll, pretty much, I think she'll be happy though. I think she's happy now. I'm not saying she's not happy, like, whoa, it's Kim, but I just think as far as relationship, that she kind of runs into that problem, and that kind of makes me as a woman feel sad for her. But yeah, I think Halle and Kim, Beyonce, these celebrities who are gorgeous, even people in our regular lives we know who are gorgeous, who we assume just got it going on because of the gorgeousness. Well, we forget that they are human beings who go through stuff too, so that when we find out that this shit don't stink, we kind of, gloat about it. So that's one thing I've always thought about Halle Berry, just, about that, she suffers from that pretty girl hate. And everybody has relationship problems. Concentrate on your own and stay out of Halle. But big up to Halle for saying my child is black, even though at the end of the day we don't really know. I mean, really, it's kind of iffy because of the fact that she's biracial and this man is white. But big ups to her for saying my child black, because we live in a world where everybody want to have some black folks. They always want to have some Indian Creole and every damn thing else up and claim they from every damn corner of the world except Africa, except being black. So big ups to her for that. Hope it works out for her. But I just want to talk about that. So yeah, that pretty girl hate is kind of deep. You know it. All right, thank y'all for listening, and good to see you again. I told you I'd be back sooner rather than later. All right, talk to you later. Bye.